High school football season rolls along in the 4 states, and we've got a loaded slate of games once again. Joplin has started the year with 2 dominant wins, tries to make it 3 in a row tonight against Ozark. Plus, Frontenac came up just short in its season opener against Colgan, but things don't get any easier for the Raiders in their home opener. They face a Riverton team that went from 1 win in 2022 to stomping Galena in its season opener. Plus, Pittsburgh and Chanute each put up more than 40 points in Week 1 wins. Tonight, they square off at Hutchinson Field. We've got 30 minutes of highlights from those games and a lot more across the 4 states. Strap in. It's Week 2 of Fox 14 Press Box, and it starts right now.
You're watching Fox 14's Press Box, sponsored by Missouri Southern State University, Matco Builders, Roper Kia, and Kramer's Quality Meats of Grove.
Hey, welcome into our second edition of Fox 14 Press Box in 2023. I'm John Dales with Brock Baldridge, and we're on to Week 2 in Kansas and Oklahoma, Week 3 already in Missouri.
Yeah, we saw a lot of standout performances last week, including one of those being the Joplin Eagles, who took down Willard 28-14. And looks like Joplin went 2-0, and then they'll face Ozark this week.
Yeah, this evening, Eagles back at home at Jung Fields, playing host to Ozark. Eagles fired up to play on homecoming. Ozark, meanwhile, comes in at 1-1. Early in the first, Tigers wide receiver Brody Lawrence makes a catch on 3rd down, but Joplin linebacker Garen Berry, hard hit, that forced a punt. Joplin playing without their starting QB and starting running back, but backup Torrin Jones explodes for a 20-yard pickup on his first carry. Later in the drive, that's backup quarterback Daniel Rose, QB keeper. He powers down to the Ozark 2-yard line. Very next play, Rose knows what to do with it, gives it up the middle to Jones. He bursts into the end zone to give Joplin a 7-0 lead. Same score. Later on in the first, Eagles driving again on offense, but here you see why they're kind of backup players. Ball comes loose on the zone read. Ozark D tackle Quentin Combs falls on it. Joplin's defense, though, pitches a shutout. Eagles go on to win 28-0. And typically we're used to high school games being on Friday night. That's not always the case, though.
No, that's not always the case, but it was last night when the Colgan Panthers took on the Girard Trojans. During all the festivities, during the Chiefs game, I should say, Colgan at home Thursday night going against Girard. First quarter, it's 6-0 Colgan. Tucker Harrell calls his own number and takes this one into the end zone for the touchdowns. Panthers would miss the extra point, so it's 12-0 lead for Colgan. Late in the first quarter, Colgan leads 12-2. Harrell showing off the arm now. Dual threat QB connects with Jack Schremer for a big gain. Later in that drive, Harrell will keep it and weave through the defense for another touchdown, and Colgan leads 18-2 over Girard. This time the Panthers decide to go for 2, and it's who else? Cooper Simmons. He does the rest. Colgan takes a 20-2 lead, but Girard's looking to answer before the half. Last play of the first half here, Girard's Jake Towner finds Scott Moore. He sprints it all the way to the end zone for the touchdown. Colgan leads Girard 20-8 at halftime, but it was Colgan who ran away with it in the second half to beat Girard 47-8 as the Panthers moved to 2-0 on the season.
And 24 hours later, Hutch Field, site of another important matchup. That's because Pittsburgh and Chanute each scored more than 40 points in Week 1 wins. Tonight they face off against each other in a non-conference game. Pittsburgh, home opener in this one. 14-0, Chanute leads at halftime. First drive of the second half, Tucker Akins throws into traffic, and that's trouble. Intercepted by Chanute. Blue Comets defense forces the turnover. They get their offense on the field. Chris Harding takes the snap, and he finds Caden Seamster. Makes a one-handed grab in traffic. Big-time game for Chanute. A couple of plays later, Harding takes the snap at the goal line and scores a touchdown on the QB sneak. 21-zip. Chanute up in the fourth quarter. Next Blue Comet possession. A little bit of trickery. Seamster goes to throw the ball to Jace Tarter. He makes the catch, picks up a ton of yardage after the catch. Later on, Chanute scores a touchdown. That's Harding scoring, makes it 27-0. Last chance for Pittsburgh just to get on the board here. Akins at QB throws it up for grabs. Only Blue Comets on the other end, though. Intercepted. Purple Dragons couldn't put it together on offense, couldn't score any points. Chanute wins in Pittsburgh. picking up a huge win. They beat the Purple Dragons 27-0.
Yeah, that was a big win for Chanute. Elsewhere on Thursday night, down the Sooner State of Oklahoma, it was the Wyandotte Bears who hosted Caney Valley, Oklahoma, not Kansas, for their home opener. The Bears dominated this game, winning 49-0. Wyandotte matched their win total from last season, so looks like former College Junction head coach Doug Buckmaster getting things turned around in Wyandotte.
Over to Kansas, plenty of action in the Three Rivers League. Jayhawk Lynn all over Southeast, 40-0. They led at half in the last check of that score.
And staying in the Three Rivers League, I should say, the Northeast Vikings travel to Pleasanton to take on the Blue Jays. Not much offense for the Vikings tonight, unfortunately. So it's Pleasanton who gets the win at home, 34-14.
And rounding things out from that league, St. Paul knocks off Oswego on the road. That brings the Indians with a 1-1 record ahead of their home opener next week against Yates Center. And that brings us to our first break here on Fox 14 Press Box. When we come back, we've got highlights from the CNC rivalry. 1-0 Riverton travels to Frontenac to take on the 0-1 Raiders. That and more right after the break.
Welcome back here to Press Box here on Fox 14. Big question is the Riverton Rams. They come off a big road win from their game against Galena last week, and can they make it 2 wins on the road going back to back? We'll see what the Road Warriors can do against Frontenac tonight. And Frontenac is the home opener for the Raiders as they host the Riverton Rams. First quarter, quarterback Cal Turlip. He will hand it off to running back Peyton McDonald as he weaves through the defense, swaggering boisterously, takes it to the house for the touchdown. Frontenac takes a 7-0 lead. Riverton looking to respond now. Next Rams possession, Ryder Goodman will hand it off to Lake Crowder on the jet sweep, and he turns it into a big gain, and he'll get out of bounds. Later in the drive, 2nd and goal, Goodman keeps it himself for the QB sneak. Rams get on the board, but they miss the extra point, so Rams trail 7-6. Next Frontenac possession, Turlip scrambling, trying to buy some real estate, and he connects to Peyton McDonald on the pass. What a great play that was. A couple of plays later, McDonald will take it into the end zone, but he'll get leveled there at the goal line, but he still scores the touchdown, so all good. Frontenac the Raiders led the Rams 14-6 at half. It was a close game all night, but it was Frontenac who comes out victorious to beat Riverton 21-18.
Now we head to Oklahoma, crossover game where Afton, who won its first game over Blackwell, takes on Columbus, who fell to Girard in week 1. Afton ready. They got 2-0 on their minds. First play of the game, Brady Robinson finds J.J. Miller down the sideline and connects down to the Titan 35-yard line. 3 plays later, similar play, same result, and this time it goes for a touchdown all the way to the end zone from 37 yards out. 7-0 Afton leads at the end of the first quarter. Later in the second, Afton going for it on 4th down, but that pass is intercepted. Jace Midget takes it deep into Eagle territory. We hear more from him later. Columbus driving. Valela, the quarterback, going deep down the field. There's Midget again on the receiving end for a touchdown. 7-6. Titans go for 2, but Valela sacked. 7-6 after that point. They go on to win 14-12.
The Galena Bulldogs took a tough loss last week in the rivalry game against Riverton. This week, Galena travels across state lines as they visit the 1-0 Quapaw Wildcats, a team that beat Galena on their home field last season. Looking for revenge. Wildcats meet the Bulldogs once again in the northeast corner of Oklahoma. The Bulldogs coming out strong, pressing the point of defense. Braden Buckaloo Halls in at quarterback, Aiden Burton for the sack. Defense is the main course of this evening. Linebacker Caden Porter quickly swallows up the ball carrier Zane Turner for no gain. Then later in the drive, quick pass, hits and breaks, changes direction. Bulldog first down before he gets pushed out of bounds there. Running back Will Miller will answer with a big gain on the ground himself. And he was pushed out. So back to defense. Quarterback Jack Perry gets the ball out while taking a hit, but it cost of Austin Lake the interception. The young man was not finished there. Bam, huge hit on the Bulldogs, Brody McMahon. So Quapaw goes on to win this one big to defeat Galena 47-20.
Over to a game that had 2 Kansas schools. Hard to believe Baxter Springs had a 25-game losing streak riding into last season. Lions get another dominant win, 48-0 against Uniontown. They've outscored their first 2 opponents, get this, 106-0.
Boy, talking about another team that's been winning a lot of big games recently. The Humboldt Cubs are on the road tonight. They steamrolled their Week 1 opponent last week. The Cubs meet up with the Bullpups at Caney Valley, and the Cubs get another victory. They win this game 28-8.
Labette County and Parsons in a rivalry game tonight, each of them coming off Week 1 wins. The Vikings end up getting the win at home. They knock off the Grizzlies 24-13.
And the Fort Scott Red Tigers, or just Tigers, are in home tonight. Cross-state matchup against Springfield Central. The Tigers win that one 42-12 final score.
That brings us to another break here on Fox 14 Press Box. Stick with us. Carl Junction and Neosho each enter the night, needing a win badly. Highlights from that game and more after the break. Welcome back into Fox 14 Press Box. We roll along with our highlights tonight. Now we take a trip to Oklahoma and start with Miami's home opener against Enola. War Dogs up 9-3 after a missed field goal right before halftime. Nothing doing for Enola. Miami now in Longhorn territory. Sam Lillard drops back and he finds Logan Sumapang. War Dogs score a touchdown. They're going to go for two, and Lillard with the toss. That would go nowhere though. 15-3. Home squad on top in the third quarter. Miami trying to add to their lead. Trent Lawson takes the handoff, heads right up the middle, gets 11 yards on that one. That drive would stall out, but Miami would score again. They'd win this one 22-3.
And a couple of COC teams that had a rough start to their season are the Neosho Wildcats, who are 0-2, and the Carl Junction Bulldogs, who are 0-2. So we know someone's going to get their first win of the season tonight. Carl Junction's home, taking on the high-flying offense of the Neosho Wildcats. Quick handoff here from quarterback Dexter Merrill. The big man Johnny Starks, he stumbles, gets his footing, and takes it all the way to the Bulldog touchdown there. Early lead for Carl Junction. Neosho spied the pass to Cade Kammer, inching closer to the end zone. Neosho again with the pass game this time. Man, that high-flying offense still going. Receiver Hudson Williams into the end zone. Touchdown Wildcats. So the Wildcats wanting to tie the game with a 2-point conversion attempt. Quarterback Quentin Hughes scrambling to find daylight, running out of real estate, and Tony Stewart coming in clutch with the sack for Carl Junction. The Bulldogs go on to win this game 32-24. Also, first win for Bulldogs head coach Todd Hafner, who came back to Carl Junction.
Staying in Missouri, Seneca at home tonight against Cassville. Indians have started their season as well as anybody. They've won their first two games by a combined score of 99-0. Now, in Seneca, Indians taking on Cassville. Gavin Hoover drops back to throw and airs it out deep. At the end of that rainbow, there's Ethan Altick. Catches it and goes into the end zone for a touchdown. Hoover this time taking matters into his own hands, running the ball. Moves the chains with a massive gain with his legs. We'll go ahead. More Indians highlights. Hoover drops back to pass in the play action, throws it deep. This one caught for another touchdown for Seneca. It was all Indians all game long. Chance Freed not going down on this play though. Seneca defense gets some love too. Morgan Vaughn sacks Andon Gowdy. Seneca blows up another punt, scores another touchdown, and score 44-0. Other scores throughout Missouri, El Dorado, Springs, and Buffalo. Neither team wanted to lose this game. After two overtimes, the Bulldogs do fall 32-26.
And great game there. Missouri 8-man football. The Liberal Bulldogs hit the road to Osceola, so no cheese tonight for the Bulldogs. I don't know if you've ever been there, John. Osceola cheese is great. They fall to Osceola 56-40 in that contest.
Haven't had Osceola cheese. I might have to. Rivalry game in Oklahoma. Shootout. Grove edges Jay. Ridge Runners win that one 48-46.
And Bonita takes down Dewey at home. Hornets win this game on a shutout 34-0.
Elsewhere in Oklahoma, Welch moves to 3-0. Big time win for the Wildcats. They dominate Life Christian Academy, win that game going away 54-6. Final score. We got our final break here on Fox 14 Press Box. Stick around when we come back. Several highlights from all across Missouri on local teams going away, including Webb City traveling to Republic. That's coming up right after this.
Welcome back to Press Box here in Fox 14. I know, John, the Carthage Tigers, we talked a little bit about this on the air. Still a young team, but not quite the same team they were last season.
Yeah, 0-2 start to the season for Carthage. That's a fan base and a team that expects to win, too.
Absolutely. It doesn't get any easier for Carthage this week. They had a big COC matchup on the road against Nixa. Nixa and Carthage, big COC battle here tonight. The Eagles are already up 7-0 when they hand it off to Dylan Ribrura. He got the seam and bounces to his right, and it's a race to the pay dirt. No catching, Junior. He is in for 6. Nixa races out to a 14-0 lead, but Carthage finds its groove finally. The Tigers lean on Landon Collins, the junior, with some big, powerful running to set the Tigers for a touchdown. That would make it 14-6 Nixa. Next Carthage drive. Here come the Tigers again. This time, Brady Carlton throwing to 3rd and goal, and it's to Langston Morgan for the touchdown for the Tigers and make it 14-13. But it was Nixa who goes on to win the close contest to beat Carthage as they fall to 0-3, 34-28.
Man,
Yeah,
brutal.
That is
for the
really
Tigers.
tough for Carthage, yes.
Yeah, well, another team and another fan base used to winning is Webb City. They began the post-John Roderick era with the loss to Nixa in Week 1, though. And they bounced back in Week 2. They beat Carl Junction. Tonight, Cardinals on the road, back at Republic. So tough road contest. It's always tough in the COC. First play of the game, though, Republic on offense. That's a loose football, and Webb City's going to jump on it and recover. Cardinal defense forces a turnover. 2 plays later, Omari Jackson cuts up the middle. He's going to score. Cardinals take a 7-0 lead on the road. Tigers looking to respond, but turnovers make the difference. That punt is blocked, and Brody Eggleston recovers it. Another turnover. That leads to another Webb City touchdown. Brecken Gallardo punches it in for 6, 14-0 in the blink of an eye. Republic keeping things interesting, though. Cardinals on offense, they lose the football. Gabe Johnson keeps it, but Republic's Braden Casey punches the ball out. Spent some time on the ground before Zion Allen scoops it up and takes it home for the score. Not enough for Republic, though. Webb City runs away with it, 42-21. They win it on the road.
Man, Webb City got more titles than your local library.
They do. Yeah, I like that one.
There we go. College Heights, they're on the road tonight as one of the better offenses, or I should say one of the better high-scoring games we've had tonight. College Heights on the road, and we'll see what it's like with the fans tonight. An 8-man action, College Heights visiting Greenfield. The Cougars are looking good early. Logan Decker firing to his right. Colton Dickens makes the catch as he breaks the tackle and picks up a big chunk of yards there. A few plays later, Decker sliding to Caleb Quad. Nobody catching him as Quad goes all the way to the house, and the Cougars go up 20-8. But man, look at this score. Greenfield closes out the half going up 40-6, but it was College Heights who falls in a shootout 78-70, John.
That's a basketball score if I've ever seen
Yes.
one. Maybe an overtime basketball score. Over to the Big 8 now in Missouri, which had a loaded group of games tonight. Lamar goes on the road. No surprise here. They easily handle Monette 40-7. The Tigers 3-0. Cubs fall to 0-3.
And John, that's going to set up a big matchup next week when Lamar heads to Seneca, or when they play each other at least. Elsewhere in the conference, Nevada moves to 3-0 with a 47-19 win over East Newton. Patriots kept it close in the first half, but the Tigers pull away to outscore the Patriots 34-12 in the second half, 47-19 final.
Staying in the Big 8 in the East, Aurora gets shut out. Mount Vernon wins 38-0. Look at that, the Mountaineers sneaky 3-0 team as well.
And staying in the Big 8, East versus West, McDonald County, the Stangs delivering pains, and they shut out Logan Rogersville 16-0 at home. Mustangs are now 2-1 after falling to their opener against Mount Vernon, and they have now won 2 in a row.
Well, there were a lot of standout performances this week across the 4 states.
Yes, there definitely was, and that's right. A lot of teams, several shutout wins, but a few get blowout wins on the road, and a bunch get, I just want to say, there's a few teams that get a bunch of big wins, but, there was a lot of closer wins this week.
Definitely a lot of closer wins. There can only be one performer of the week, though. That's where you, the viewer, comes in. Head over to our website, koamnewsnow.com/vote to pick the performance of the week. 3 options for you. First, Colgan, who won 47-8 over Girard last night.
Next option is Quapaw, the Wildcats, win the border war over Galena 47-20 tonight to improve to 2-0 on the season.
And after Quapaw, our final option for you, the team we were just talking about a few minutes ago, Webb City, who wins 42-21 on the road at Republic. Again, the link is on your screen. Go there and vote right now. You have until the end of the weekend to pick the performer of the week. And that's all the time we have for you on this edition of Fox 14 Press Box. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in. Make sure, again, vote in that Performance of the Week poll on our website, and we will see you right back here again next Friday night.
Take care.